Well, hello and welcome to your Wednesday night lowdown. We are the Levels of Wrestling. I'm Craig. This is Paul. The other guy with us is Chris, and Krista will join us soon. Don't forget, if you're listening tonight, guys, you can go ahead and share, like, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Or alternatively, you can download our shows on iTunes.
Did I just distract you with my drinking?
You almost did. Almost did. But you did by talking. Congrats. You can head over to levelswrestling.podbean.com. You can download all our shows there, as well as shows from the Wrestle Addicts, Mind of Carnage, Just Sing, and the Ringside Ramblers. And when you're done there, you can head over to tpublic.com/user/levels of wrestling. 1 week removed from last week, and that was much smoother. Yeah. And tonight, guys, we talk about the ratings that were much higher on Raw for the first time since August.
They weren't much.
Okay, they were higher than they were the previous week.
There was like 80 more people that watched.
The Twitter rating was higher. The Twitter rating was higher. The actual rating was down 0.5%.
There you go.
Shh.
See?
God damn it, Chris. We start the show on a high note.
And they screwed it up already. Well done.
The show was good.
The show was surprisingly good for a
The
Raw.
best Raw we've had in a while.
I was going to say, don't say it ever. I'll come back to Scotland, go down to England, and slap you and leave again.
Wouldn't it just be easier to like fly into England and then go to Scotland?
Shut up, Paul.
Okay. Just saying, I'm trying to help you out by being more economical. I'm trying to stretch your dollar.
Well, no, Paul, because if he flies to England, he then doesn't need to go to Scotland.
You're picking on me again. This backfired quick.
I was picking on Paul then.
I don't know maps and stuff.
So, like I said, Chris is going to join us soon. That way we'll get a bit more of a feminine touch to the show. Well, Chris is already here, but Chris will be here. Anyway, Hell in a Cell was this weekend. How do we feel about the show? For me, it was kind of like a surprisingly good pay-per-view. I was more impressed with this pay-per-view than I have been with the others, especially in the last 6 months, excluding SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was the good.
It was the good.
Yeah, it was. What it did that I liked most was that all the finishes, for the most part, made sense. Whoever went over made sense with them going over, and that's not something that they always get right.
Interesting.
Alberto.
Yeah, we'll get to that, because that was the one that was confusing me a little bit, now that I've thought about it a bit more.
But Alberto, well, I mean, you know, they're trying to replace the star power of Cena, and them bringing in an almost 40-year-old former star for more money, working less dates than he was before. That's fucking brilliant. I mean, because, you know, God forbid that we put Dean Ambrose or Tyler Breeze in that spot. No. What do the kids want? They want to see Del Rio. That's what they want. They want to see Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. I don't agree with the person that they picked. I'm okay with it, but he's already boring Del Rio, and it's only been a day. But, you know, you had to get the belt off Cena, and this is what they chose. And it's okay. I mean, it's better than Cena winning and leaving with the belt.
Yeah, but still, Alberto, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be back to, you know, wrestling Sheamus on SmackDown and boring us to tears.
Even on Raw, it wasn't exactly a 10 out of 10. It was Alberto Del Snoro creeping back in, and I'm like, ugh. Come on, guys.
I agree. It wasn't as great as it could have been. His return was, you know, it was a good pop. It wasn't a great pop. It was a good pop.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to deny the pop.
What I will say is he looks in great shape. Like, if you haven't been watching him while he's been in Lucha Underground or going around on the indies, you didn't know what shape he was going to be in, and he looks tremendous compared to how he was when he left.
Yeah, he's been wearing a shirt. Like, everywhere he wrestles, he's wearing a shirt. So it was pretty weird to see him all caramel. Because he wasn't even tan. That motherfucker was caramel. He was.
Yeah.
Like, they dipped him in caramel before they sent him out there.
But I hope to see him licked and clean.
You know, it is what it is. I mean, all they're trying to do is they're looking for the Chris Jericho return pop. That's all they're doing with these guys. I mean, it has nothing to do with long-term booking. It's, okay, what are we going to get for the short term? And that's what Alberto is. He's a short-term solution. But there's still a long-term problem.
That was really well put, and I can't think of anything else to say to it. I mean, Del Rio...
Nothing, I'm fucking perfect!
Yeah, Del Rio is just a placeholder.
He is. He's a Band-Aid on a knife wound.
I'm kind of disappointed purely for the fact if you wanted somebody, especially because they're on about getting someone in while seen as a way to bring in the viewers. I know everyone's sick of hearing it, but Brian.
I mean,
I don't want to see Daniel Bryan back
hold on.
before the Rumble.
I get why they picked Del Rio. It was because California as well, especially. They're also trying to draw the Hispanic crowd. They're also trying to have somebody well seen as away. I get that.
See, your sentence was almost right.
How was the sentence?
Daniel Bryan back.
Oh.
Well, I mean, if the plan is that Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble again, you cannot have Daniel Bryan.
No,
you can't.
No, you do not have Roman Reigns win the Rumble again. 2 years in a row is pushing your luck.
Did with Austin.
Austin was popular. Big difference.
Roman was real over on Monday.
Yeah,
Roman was not real over last year at the Rumble. I don't think
that was a bad booking.
Right, that's why you don't bring Bryan back before the Rumble.
No, that's why you don't have him in the Rumble. You have him in the title match at the Rumble, before the Rumble, and then you have the winner of the Rumble be someone like either Ambrose,
Brock. Things are real sticky right now. I mean, he is the next guy.
Yeah,
and we all agree on that, and that's the right decision to make. Now it's just a matter of timing of when they want to do it, and to me, it makes the most sense to do it at WrestleMania. I mean, it's that big WrestleMania moment. It's his moment. But can you hold off that long?
I say give him the belt going into Mania and either have the triple threat for the Shield happen at Mania and have something happen to roll it over to SummerSlam, or you have 2 of the 3 have the match at Mania and then have the triple threat at SummerSlam.
That's a Mania match.
Yeah, I think they're going to use that for a smaller arena, and they're going to use it to fill. Because see, next year, come 33, I mean, either Roman's facing Cena at 33, or he's going to face him at SummerSlam. That's the way it's going to go. They're going to pass the torch at some point.
That'll be 33. I can see that.
You know what they're like doing. So in that case, the Shield thing has to happen at SummerSlam.
In that case, you have Ambrose win the Rumble, Reigns win at the Royal Rumble, and you have Ambrose versus Reigns. You then have some stuff happen rolling over into SummerSlam. Rollins gets added to the mix. Triple threat.
Unless Brock gets the Rock at Mania,
he will.
I expect Brock versus Reigns again.
I actually would not mind a Rock return in the Rumble. Purely to eliminate Brock.
That would make sense to set up, the feud. They did that with Brock and Goldberg.
Mm-hmm. That was No Way Out, though, wasn't it? Where Eddie beat
Brock. Because Brock came out and eliminated him. Because Brock wasn't even in the match. He came out and he eliminated Goldberg. Forget I'm old. I remember old stuff. Current stuff.
True story. David. Sorry,
yeah,
go, Chris.
I honestly think that having Reigns win the Rumble would be a really, really bad booking decision.
Oh, agreed. I'm just trying to think of, if they want to put the belt on him at Mania. I don't, as much as I love the idea of a Shield triple threat, I mean, he needs to be the showcase. And unless they turn Ambrose beforehand, which could very well happen.
I've got a better way to do it. Have the Rollins versus Reigns match happen at Royal Rumble, have a screw finish, have Ambrose win the Rumble, then have something happen at Fastlane or whatever, and you have the triple threat going in.
Yeah, whatever. I just don't like the idea of Roman winning his first belt
in a
triple threat. I mean,
think he wins it well before.
It cheapens.
I say win it I say win it before Mania. Have him as the champ going in.
I'm just trying to think of WWE and what it try to maximize the moment and the money. I mean, fuck, if it's up to me, I put the belt on him at Survivor Series. I put the belt on him there, no questions asked. He's the guy moving forward, move past Seth Rollins, put him back to where he needs to be.
Before we go on to our next topic, our man on the street, Jeremy, has said, after the reaction to Reigns and Owens being in the ring together, could you see them in a feud between them next year for the WWE title?
Absolutely.
Yeah, completely.
Absolutely.
I say 100%.
If I'm booking, I have Zayn versus Owens going into Mania. I would possibly have it roll over to SummerSlam. and after that, I would have Owens versus Reigns.
That would be a good feud for like this time of the year, where
But
where nothing really happens, but those two are going to carry things just on kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After SummerSlam, you have it be Owens versus Reigns.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't even feel like a lull period. You know, oh my God, well, it's time for his Kane feud.
It's time for his Kane feud.
Yeah.
No, he's got to have his third Big Show feud.
Please.
Yeah, that was really my thought. Moving on, how did you guys feel like the match of the night went at Hell in a Cell? Like, to me, that was Reigns and Wyatt in the cage. Like, incredible match.
Watching it back, I'm torn between that and the Taker Lesnar match. I watched the Taker Lesnar match again, and I'm pretty torn.
I think the two Cell matches were they did their job. Like,
They're perfect.
Yeah, it was the first time in a while that they've used Hell in a Cell correctly. And, like...
It was two different matches. You know, same gimmick, two completely different matches. Where the first one, it felt like a 1970s match where it was nicely paced. They just kept it going. Big spot, then slowed it back down. But it never felt like it drug. I mean, it was very smart storytelling by both guys. Both guys did their part. And it was wonderful. I absolutely loved it.
See, to me, the Wyatt match felt more like a no-holds-barred match than Hell in a Cell. I'm not entirely sure why that was.
Because of using weapons.
Yeah, you know, using weapons and things like that.
Yeah, the Taker match to me felt more like a traditional Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, because they had blood, and then, you know, you have the two guys involved, which always makes it feel bigger.
Oh, yeah, and of course, which none of them bladed, as rumors are saying.
Yeah, none.
Brock didn't. 9 staples in his head? Did you see the gash? There's no way that was...
We watched it! He hit the fucking thing, and then he had the hand,
yeah,
that
he
he
put the
did
glove
that!
He hit the metal... Yeah, he hit the connector between the pole and the turnbuckle, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Over and to the left, over to the right,
we
whatever.
watched it the morning after as well.
Yeah, and I still
that's
saw him. He missed it by a fucking country mile, and then he takes his hand, and then he does one of those.
But the thing is, even if he did that, he wore the glove for at least another 10 minutes of that match.
Yeah, and then he took it off and then busted open Taker.
Right, so why wouldn't you just use the same glove to bust him?
No, because that's dangerous. Don't you know it's a lot safer to just punch somebody in the fucking top of their head to bust them open?
He actually didn't blade.
I know Taker didn't. Because we saw Brock punch him.
Yeah, the look on Taker's face when he punches him, like, oh yeah, motherfucker.
It was right after he took the glove off. And
Lesnar did it the same way he did it at Mania this year. He ran into the thing that connects the turnbuckle to the metal pole because it's quite sharp. You can bust yourself open on that easy.
He missed it by a mile.
He
put his hand on the post to make sure he didn't hit the post.
I think there was something premeditated there.
Probably.
Can't prove it.
I think he wanted to bust himself open, but I don't think he used the blade to do it. I just think he used the thing instead.
Either way, he made a hell of a gash.
Either way, it was premeditated.
Oh yeah, it was an intentional. He intentionally busted himself open. I'm not saying he didn't do that.
He gigged somehow, in some way, shape, or form. And you know what? Whatever. It added to the match. And what the fuck is Vince gonna do? I mean, okay, fine. If he decides to go, yeah, guess what? I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you for blading. That's a pretty big number. So what? Brock just says, hey, guess what? Fuck you. I'm going home then.
Yeah, pretty much.
To be honest, I watched back the match yesterday, and I noticed when Brock shoved the referee out of the ring. Doctor, even sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure that pissed off Vince more than...
Yes, it did. Apparently that's what Vince was fuming about, because...
Yeah, because that was a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh, well, then you know what? Then let these two guys do their fucking thing.
Yep. I was going to say, yeah, if the Doctor really wants to pick a fight with Brock Lesnar, he's fully entitled to do so, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, no, you saw that guy...
I'd pay money to see it.
He was wearing dark pants.
The Doctor
Let's just say that. Because he did not want to be out there. It is Vince's stupid fault for sending him out there going, oh, yeah, go clean him up. I can't let blood be shown. Oh,
you can see when
man, you're on the network. You're not on USA.
You can see when Taker's basically told him to piss off that he's shitting himself. He goes over to Lesnar, and Lesnar basically shoves the guy out the ring.
Yeah, Brock was done. I mean, that was the second time he was done.
I will say that the big moment that you could see Taker was like, let's not do this, was when he went to take a chair shot to the head. Like, Brock swings the chair, and Taker's hands get thrown up so high as if to say, no, Brock, bad Brock.
No, bad idea.
Yeah. We're not doing this, I'm too old.
The one I love is
when for this before. I know how much this fine is. Stop it.
Yeah, I love it when he throws his hand up to his left side and Lesnar, he misses the chair and Lesnar still hits him full on anyways.
Yeah, he hits him in the face with it. Not even the head, in the side of the jaw. Like, man, they definitely went at it. Krista, what was your match of the night for Hell in a Cell?
You know, I'm like Chris, I'm torn. I'm torn between Reigns and Wyatt and Taker and Brock. You're right, they served their purpose, they did what they were supposed to do, but they were a hell of a match. So I can't really say.
What would you say the worst match of the night was then? Because I kind of struggled on that one, but I want to say the Divas.
Owens Ryback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah,
Owens
Ryback, that was just, that was a waste of time. That was filler.
Yeah, that was a Raw match that ended up on a pay-per-view.
See, I'm almost tempted to say that
That wasn't even a Raw match, that was a Superstars match.
It was Superstars match.
They phoned that in.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I am almost tempted to say Seth Kane, because that had much more hype than it should have, and it was a bad match.
Yeah, it was a bad match.
Well, it was on the right place on the card. I mean, you know, it was like halfway in the show. They knew what it was. They knew they weren't getting a great match out of this, and Kane is just a god-awful worker. I mean, I do not want to see this big red retard on my fucking TV ever again. Come on, they even botched the table spot. I mean, it just wasn't good. Nothing worked in that match.
He's past his prime. Sorry, but he is.
He was never in his prime. You want to know when he peaked? When he was the Unabomber. Back before... Yeah, go look it up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was forever ago.
Yeah.
Before he was Isaac Yankem.
Forgot. That's when he had the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he worked his best. Yeah, you know what? For everyone that says, "Oh, well, he's safe. He's a safe worker." You want to know why he's safe? Is because he's fucking slow. Get him off my fucking TV. They couldn't even do the table spot. And the pedigree.
He should be on like the friggin' low card to help the new guys out.
He needs to be in NXT training big guys.
No.
Yep.
No. Okay. So now that so this guy could teach Baron Corbin how to throw a shitty punch.
No, Corbin,
this is terrible. He can, exactly. So you don't want to send this dummy down there to teach him how to regress. Go sell insurance.
Baron Corbin needs to learn from Lesnar how to throw a punch.
Baron Corbin needs to learn some fucking manners and not talk back to Norman Smiley.
Yeah, who did we watch the other day and went, that was a really good punch? It was Reigns, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Robert. He throws great punch.
It was Reigns.
I was saying yesterday that the right hands Roman was given in the match. Wyatt didn't look like he was hitting anyone. I also think, by the way, using kendo sticks on a Reigns is kind of fucking stupid. It's a man wearing body armor.
Yeah, that was just a waste of time. That was.
Fans don't care. Marks like us do because we see it and go, meh. He's not going to be hurt.
Reigns is there like, it hurts, and I'm there like, dude, you're wearing fucking like bulletproof armor. I don't really see what the hell your problem is.
Oh, exactly right.
Guess what? It may be bulletproof, but it's not kendo proof. There. Just like the pods in the Elimination Chamber. You can go through them, but you can't shoot through them. So, technically, they're still bulletproof.
Oh, no. The pods in the Elimination Chamber, you can get into them, but you can't get out of them until you absolutely have to.
Right. Stupid Mark Henry. Yeah, no, remember that? Mark Henry got stuck in a pod.
Yeah,
after breaking it.
Mark Henry's a nice man.
He isn't. And he makes a pop-up powerbomb look better than Ryback's.
Because it is possible to break into the pods, but not to break out of them.
There's a good point. You know, during the Kevin Owens match, as we said, they phoned it in.
Oh, that was a terrible match.
Can we just agree
god-awful.
And I hate saying this because I like Owens, Ryback looked better than Owens in that match.
He did, which is really sad.
It honestly looked to me like Owens didn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but you know, he made up for it on Monday. But
and in the interview.
That's why, you know, now is the time of the year when people start talking about their workers of the year and people like that. And I know a lot of people are going to say Kevin Owens, but you have to be consistent. Even if you're out there with an opponent you don't want to be in there with, and you know that you only have 4 minutes.
Yeah, you have to make both guys look like
No,
gold.
work with the O's, either Cesaro or Cena.
I got Roman. I mean, he's been the most consistent.
I would have said Roman
Yep.
or Cena.
I'm going to say Roman.
And I'm talking about in the entire world. I
Yeah.
will put Roman Reigns right there with anybody.
Because he's been consistent.
Yep, he's been consistently good all year. I
See,
can't point to one match and go, he was bad here. He's taken everything that they... He got a good match out of the Big Show.
To be fair.
And he's been one of the best tag workers in the company for the majority of the late summer and the fall. I mean,
but
the guy's tremendous.
Yeah, but to be fair, Cesaro's also been consistent, but Cesaro's also been consistently punished by the company for some stupid-ass reason that nobody quite knows. The man has consistently good matches, but he's used on things like Superstars instead of Raw.
Make your own push. That's it. I mean, and we saw that on the pre-show match. Like you could see him kick it into that next gear where he went, "Oh, okay, cool. This crowd is into me. This is my shot. This is what I got to go do."
He did it again on Raw.
And he missed that gear on Monday to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the pre-show match was a much higher quality.
Yeah, I mean, you could see him just go, "Oh, these guys like me. Okay, now time. Let's fucking do this."
But I question
But that's the thing is has not been consistent.
I question as well if they know, like, you can get away with more in a pre-show because less people watch it than they do on Raw. Because Vince will go, okay, you can try new things here.
Right.
And then, obviously, they'll get away, they'll be more comfortable, they don't have to worry about so many guidelines.
But it's still just as something as little as working a European uppercut that much snugger, just hitting it that much harder. It's the little things like that. It's throwing your punch a little bit hard.
It's the Uppercut Express.
I think that move stinks. So.
What, where he goes back and forth?
Yeah, I can't stand it because by like the third. Because by the third time, he looks like the Ultimate Warrior running down at WrestleMania 6. Like, he's fucking 18 feet away from the ring. He's, my tassels are too tight.
I'm trying to think if there's a way he can make that uppercut look more effective. Other than doing, like, a pop-up type thing, which he used to do anyway.
I like to... I love the tossing him up and then fucking whack. Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like that's almost been stolen. It is now that's property of Kevin Owens now, where you can't toss anybody up. That's his move.
Even though Cesaro did it first.
Right. I mean, it doesn't matter who did it first. It's who makes money.
On the note of Kevin Owens, I'd just like to point out the pop-up powerbomb into the spear at the end of the Fatal 4-Way.
I'll say the pop-up powerbomb into the Superman punch. Yeah.
The Superman punch. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There were some really good spots in that match. Like, some really good spots.
What really worked was that crowd, number one, they loved them some Roman Reigns. And when when it was him and Owens, they just had the ring to themselves. There was two professionals giving the crowd their due. They let the moment breathe. They didn't go rushing into each other. They let that moment build. And how smart. That is just so smart. That's two guys that obviously get it. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I have to admit, in terms of in-ring psychology, Reigns has definitely improved this year.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He knows how to put together. He knows how to put together a match.
Yeah, okay. which is great because when you look at January, no offense to him, he didn't.
No. I mean, he wasn't there. I mean, but he got to.
He was that match with Daniel Bryan at Fastlane.
Yeah, his match with Daniel Bryan was awesome.
Yeah, but if you watch that match, Bryan was calling the entirety of that match.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter who's calling it. I mean, you don't both call a match.
Hey, guess what? Yep. Cena used to call all Cena and Punk's matches. Guess who was the better worker there, though? Oh.
Yeah, Cena calls every match.
Yeah, we can hear it on camera every single time.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's like the one guy whose voice carries the entire length of the stadium.
But this is
because he yells louder than me on the show.
You look at.
Sorry, Krista. On you go, Krista.
No, we lost her.
Well, damn.
I yelled so loud I blew her mic.
Good job, Greg. You scared her away.
Well, while we wait for Krista to come back.
Sorry, there we are.
What were you saying, Krista?
You look at Roman, and you look at back in January, and you can see his progression. He's steadily progressed up until now. So he's learning from the people he's working with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and
that's what you want a wrestler to do. Especially if he's supposed to be the next face of the company, you want him to progress.
You want that from anybody in any line of work.
Yeah.
But not everyone gets it, which is sad.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so you know what? Don't go to Twitter and start retweeting bullshit. Go out there, do your job better, and there you go.
Sorry, Naomi.
Now that we've no one said that. Now that we've seen Kevin Owens go, you know, in the big square with the 4 guys, who do we see as his next opponent? Like for the IC title? Because I don't think it's going to be Neville. I think Neville's probably going to go after the US.
I think it will be.
So
I think it
really well.
I think it will be someone like Ziggler or possibly Sheamus.
You see, I was thinking
Not
for the IC.
Ziggler. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't really want Ziggler because Ziggler's going to be working with Tyler Breeze.
All we need is someone to like fill in for while Zayn gets back. Because let's be honest, that's what's going to be the big thing.
So it's going to be 2 months. So you got a question who it's going to be?
Dean Ambrose.
You see, I would like that. I would like that a lot. But how did they set it
I
up?
would too.
Well, the problem was Dean is quote unquote in line for a big push.
Yeah, because I almost 1,000% sure he's going to screw over Reigns.
Yeah, but if not, I mean, a program with Kevin Owens isn't bad.
It's a good push. It's a guy who was getting a top push.
I'm gonna say not in the meantime. Well, no, they wanted to make him a big face apparently.
Yeah, against Kevin Owens.
Yeah, so that's why I question.
But the problem is, how do you make him a big face against Kevin Owens without giving him the belt?
Oh, you just make him a hard luck loser. That's all. Tommy Dreamer did it for years.
Babyface in peril.
Yeah, I mean, he was the most over guy in ECW for years and years and years, and never won a feud.
And the thing is,
No,
Tommy
he didn't.
Dreamer could take a beating and smile about it. That
No,
got him over as well.
I say
Because
Ambrose,
Tommy Dreamer was a really good worker.
I say Ambrose leads the charge against the Wyatts.
No, we've seen this for 8 months now. Time to move on. I don't want to see Roman or Dean anywhere near this Wyatt feud.
Hold on. Craig, while you give that look, have you been watching NXT recently?
Yeah, I have, but it means nothing to me.
No, all I was going to say is they seem to be trying to make Samoa Joe a big guy at the moment.
I'm saying nothing about this because I've read spoilers for the next set of tapings.
Joe's busy.
Let's put it that way.
I don't want to see Joe with the IC title anyway.
No, we're not on about Joe with the IC title. I was on about bringing up Balor.
No.
Balor's busy.
Balor's going to be there until at least probably Mania.
There is no one else to take his spot down there.
Now, I could see a Balor Royal Rumble debut.
Nope.
No, it's too early. They cannot bring him up until they have somebody else ready. And
that's what I'm thinking they're doing with Joe. So.
No, Samoa Joe's
the next person
is 40.
Right, the next person to get that NXT title is going to be someone who was from NXT.
It should be Cruz.
Yeah, Apollo Crews.
Cruz is not
if
ready.
If they really want to heal, they'll do it's Corbin, and no one needs that yet. Although it could help him, maybe.
That actually might help him.
But anyway, yeah, the fact is, I think Ambrose is probably the better fit to go for Owens. I mean, just now, anyway. Mm-hmm. If you want to make him a babyface, do what Paul said, put him in peril.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you just have him be a hard luck loser. That's it. He goes out there, he whoops Kevin Owens' ass. And we've seen from Kevin Owens lately that he's been going classic chicken shit heel, where, he'll just poke an eye and then get a roll-up out of nowhere. You just keep doing that, and it works.
Or he'll just grab the bat and walk away. And yeah, I suppose that could work if you have Ambrose constantly losing up until the Rumble. You could even have him win the Rumble after that.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they love putting guys on losing streaks before they push them for some reason.
Yeah, they do it every time with Money in the Bank as well. Like, oh, you lost 100 matches? Time to go cash in.
Yeah.
Hello, Sheamus.
Hey, speaking of which, they cut out the Hulu version? Wade Barrett winning a match. They did. They cut it out.
No.
Yeah, they cut it out. It was a 6-man tag. It was the European Union or whatever against the
That's a good match.
Else. And yeah, Wade Barrett got the win and then ran around the ring outside like he had just won the World Cup.
Dude, how often does Barrett get a win? To him, that is winning the World Cup.
Guess what? Last one in a while after that reaction. Oh, that bastard.
Well, and
He's happy. Punish him.
That's a sad thing because Barrett's a good worker in the ring.
He should have been a world champion by now.
He should have been a world.
Don't even fucking give me that, man.
Shut up, Craig.
Yeah.
After the Nexus, that Nexus thing, he should have been world champion. That would have made the most sense in the world.
It would have made sense, yeah.
Thank you, Cena.
I'll give him SmackDown. SmackDown champ.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Still a world champ.
I don't think he's good enough to hold the
That's what I was
belt.
Yeah, he should have had the heavyweight championship and have had the WWE belt.
Doesn't matter.
I would have loved if he'd taken the WWE one and trashed it personally, but because that's when it was still spinny and.
Oh yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, because they trashed everything else when they debuted, so.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Which, by
and
the
they
way,
trashed it.
about memorable things the other day on Twitter.
Yes.
That was the last memorable thing before Punk.
Don't forget,
Yep.
Craig.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget, they trashed the Nexus themselves.
True story, and then they made the core.
No, wait, no, the last memorable thing. No, wait, do you just mean on Raw?
Yeah, on Raw before Punk.
Oh,
Yeah, the Nexus.
Yeah.
The Nexus. I didn't
Yeah,
even watch it.
Either that or setting up Cena Rock on Raw.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I can't just pinpoint one of those and just go, oh yeah, that was it.
No,
And then before that, it was Miz cashing in.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. This is what we've got.
And that brings us to a third of the way through the show. Don't forget, tomorrow night, guys, you can hear from the Wrestle Addicts, and then on Friday night, you can hear from the Ringside Ramblers. And if you can't catch them there, you know where to get them, because you can go to the Google Store and download our app. Just search Levels of Wrestling, and you can get it all in one place on your phone all the time. As we come into the second third of the show, I want to ask you guys how you feel about the Wyatts carrying off The Undertaker.
Absolutely perfect.
Brilliant.
Well,
I like
way
it.
oh, we all agree on something. This is unusual.
Great way to write him off TV until whenever they want him to reappear.
Well, he's
That's
actually
right.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's too fucking bad that they had the commercials during the pay-per-view of, hey, Survivor Series. We're celebrating Undertaker's 25th anniversary.
He's actually appearing on the... Is SmackDown on a Thursday or a Friday? It's a Thursday now, right?
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
So he's actually going to be on the 12th of November, SmackDown.
Oh, is that his actual debut?
Yeah, Taker is actually going to appear for the UK Manchester tour at SmackDown.
Indeed.
And for those of you in Canada, you'll see it on Wednesday.
Also true. So you guys get to see it a day early.
Or if you're smart, you just won't
Don't watch
watch it.
Yeah.
It's
I don't care
called
who's on SmackDown.
it's called PVR, boys. PVR.
No, it's not. It's called Read It on Twitter. It's called Read the Results on Twitter.
Yeah.
There we go.
I do what Dave Meltzer tells me to like. So.
You're the worst. Set your beard on fire.
Like Brian Alvarez.
Almost as bad as Vince Russo fans.
Hey, he had his moments. And then he had a lot of bad moments. But he had his moments.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
No, you know what?
Do you remember any of
had,
them? I don't.
I have come up with at least 100,000 ideas in my lifetime. And there was probably 8 of those ideas that were good. I'm Vince Russo. There you go. That's it. It's the same thing. It just,
Oh,
you
dear.
know, none of my ideas, not all of my ideas have been on TV that I know of. They've been stolen.
A couple of them have.
They've been stolen a lot.
They've all been stolen. So we're on ideas. The talk of ideas. I want an idea from you guys. Who gets abducted by the Wyatts next? Because I don't think they're just going to take Undertaker and Kane.
Did they
I
take
think-
Kane?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
on
didn't
Monday.
watch Raw. You should know.
I didn't watch Raw. Sorry.
You want to know what I think? I think they're going to go down to NXT and they're going to abduct Finn Balor.
Or we're gonna get a note that
Oh,
they
no.
abducted Sami Zayn.
Big Show! That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
I actually think that they could abduct... shit. I'm trying to think of anyone that has a demonic-ish gimmick.
I'm sure they've already abducted shit there, Chris. I don't think we have to worry about that anymore.
To be fair, Kane has been taken, yes. They have abducted shit.
I think I'm kind of like, who can they take that's of a big size that fits in with the team?
Well,
it's got to be team.
Mark Henry.
Spoilers, guys. On SmackDown, they try to take the big guy.
Oh God, no!
Oh, you know what? I'm okay with that.
I'm not.
Right?
Yeah,
They-
Ryback.
No,
Yeah.
They don't succeed in taking him away though.
Good.
But I could see
So
I
they
could see them doing this as because Ryback's contract is up next year anyway. So I could see them doing this to have him, they ultimately end up abducting him, and that's how he kind of retires from WWE.
No, that won't. These people that they're abducting will be the team against them at Survivor Series. I think that's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Big Show, Kane, Ryback, and Taker against the 4 Wyatts.
I like it.
It kind of works.
I wouldn't mind
the sore thumb, but
it's a shame because I wouldn't mind Ambrose for this. I wouldn't mind. It's a shame we don't have Brian back, otherwise I'd say him.
it's got to be tall people.
Yeah, it's got to be monsters.
I don't think it has to be. I think.
You look at the Wyatts. Those guys are goddamn monsters.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said the other day. I didn't realize quite how tall the 3 members of the Wyatts were. I mean, you put them next to Undertaker, and I'm like, oh, they're kind of tall.
Yeah, they're dwarfing Kane and Taker. These guys are huge.
Like, Kane is 6'10" without his lifts.
Yeah, I have
Without
to.
the lifts.
I have to admit, Strowman is one hell of a monster.
And Eric Rowan. Rowan's huge.
Rowan is 7 foot.
No, but I'm on about for the fact that Strowman isn't just tall; he's also wide.
Oh no, you just like Strowman because he's something new.
Snowman.
In 8 months, you're gonna hate him.
No, I just like the fact that we have Harper and Rowan who are tall, but we don't have someone who's tall and as wide as Strowman is.
Yeah, but this guy can't work.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
Luke
and it's fucking
Harper-
terrible. No,
Luke
he's
Harper's
goddamn,
working.
he's goddamn terrible in the ring. The only thing he's good for is making it look like he can choke people out because he looks like he can choke people out.
Oh, it's the worst finisher ever.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to dispute
I'm gonna
that.
hug.
I kind of like it.
I'm gonna hug you to death.
It kind of suits him now.
Come here. I'm gonna hug.
You see, I agree. It suits him. Like,
Come here, boy. I'm about to hug you to death.
keep it tight.
Come on. Keep it tight.
They could have abduct Mark Henry too.
Ooh, now there's a shout.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, who are just like 4 older guys from that generation. Yeah, Mark Henry, he fits in there too.
Can we run them all off TV at once?
No, because they're gonna win.
It's a shame because I was trying to think of people that have similar gimmicks to like Taker and Kane, whereby they're afterlife demonish sort of things, they're supernatural gimmicks.
Kevin Thorne, Mordecai.
Well, it's a shame Sting. It's a shame Sting's not around.
Yeah, it's a shame that the world champion fucking crippled him.
Yeah. It's also a shame bad as an NXT.
I would think so. I mean, well, we were talking about the other night. I said, it's a damn shame that the sloppy world champion fucking crippled him. Yeah, best worker in the world.
Yeah.
Although they could still use him, just don't.
What?
Hang him
What
around
are they
too
gonna
much.
do? Is they're gonna wheel it? What is he gonna sit on Zeb's lap
Yep.
as they
Hold
come
on.
down in the Zeb mobile?
Hold on, I'd just like to point out, he's potentially crippled for life, and you want to put him in the ring with a guy like Strowman who can't work.
He hugs you to sleep. He's just gonna help him lie down in the
Oh
retirement.
man, I want that to be his finisher now. I want it to be called Hug to Sleep. I mean, because
No, that's too close to go to sleep. That
right,
Punk had.
because everything they do, according to internet fans, is a shot against Punk. So look at you, kind of mess with your beard.
I wouldn't mind having
You got a long
Cesaro.
way to go, but
Beard.
you're gonna
never get to that.
You've got a long
He
way.
doesn't
to go.
even have a beard. He has peach fuzz.
I actually wouldn't mind having Cesaro in the match.
He's tall-ish.
But he doesn't have any business being.
But on that note, you could have also taken
No.
Barrett and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Why?
Sheamus.
They're also tall and European.
But they,
Like on Chris's logic.
but they're bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have good guys.
Well, Big Show's a flip-flopper, so.
He's
Yeah,
a good guy
but-
this week.
But Sheamus and Barrett are heels.
Yeah.
Well, until Barrett does another lap of the ring, then people are going to
You know what? We've seen one half of it already. All we need now is Jack Swagger.
God, no. No.
Where
the hell has he been, anyway?
main event.
On Superstars and main event.
Yeah, he's gonna be. He's gonna be joining. He's gonna be feuding with Del Rio here soon. So.
You see that's a worry to me. I did think when that music hit. Do you not think it's such a shame for Swagger? The minute that music hit, everyone cringed a little bit. We're like, oh, not again.
I thought they let go of Del Rio because of what he did, that backstage kerfuffle.
Well, it turned out that the guy was racist, and they had to kind of have moments with him. He was fired, and Del Rio took him to court, saying, he was on that 90-day. He was on the 90-day contract thing. And they're like, actually, no, you legally can't stop me working, so I'm going to work wherever I want.
That was a different lawsuit, though.
Yeah, but it's one of the reasons they've taken him back now, because they can, easily say to him, look, we've messed up. We're sorry. Here you go. Here's what you want.
We messed up. We left things on bad terms. We tried to sort them out in court. We helped you out in court. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it may have worked, but also all it's done is kind of slackened what WWE do, because now they have less bargaining power the whole time, because other stars are able to do the same kind of thing. I mean, all it takes is for one star to threaten to take them to court again. Vince goes, oh no, don't take us to court, we'll settle this out with.
No.
We'll give you a court order, and we'll give you money. Yeah. That's basically how it's going to go. So will we see Swagger Del Rio? Probably. Will Swagger end up retiring after that? Probably. I don't see him staying with WWE.
No, I don't either. I see him being future endeavored.
Yeah, I was about to say, when someone said about Swagger coming out, and I was like, no, Swagger's going to get future endeavored.
If a tree falls in the woods, does anyone care? If somebody that's not on TV leaves, doesn't matter.
Unless it's Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Because Slater's going to slate.
The world needs ditch diggers too.
Well, but this is the thing, is that, Slater's a jobber. He knows he's a jobber.
But he's damn good at his job.
But he's damn good at his job, and he loves doing it. I mean,
I've got to say,
and a lot of the legends that I guess, and a lot of the legends that have faced off against him have nothing but good things to say.
I popped when Bret Hart was introducing Sami Zayn and Heath Slater came out. I'm not going to lie, I was sat there like...
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I remember Bret Hart introducing Sami Zayn. I don't remember Slater.
I don't even remember that. All I remember is Sami Zayn fucking hurting himself, raising his arm up.
He came out and said something, and Bret Hart hit him on the head with a microphone, and then he rolled out the ring the way that Heath Slater normally does.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
he's been more entertaining of late.
But that's his role, and he does it well. And
all I remember is
Santino disappeared.
Yeah,
all I remember is
him going on Twitter and retweeting stuff because he's upset.
All I remember is JBL screaming that it was a Montreal screw job.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Can I ask, what do you guys feel made Raw better this week? Because obviously a lot of people are saying it was the change of template. I know Chris Oney joked about it. But was it the change of template, or was it just the fact that the crowd were kind of more into it? They were behind the right guys for a start.
The show had a direction. I mean, it had like a clear start and finish. Like, we knew what last night's episode was. It was an encapsulated thing that was leading to the next thing. The match quality was good. The promos were kept shorter, and that's always going to be a winning formula right now, especially when you have such terrible scripted, crappy promos where nothing feels genuine.
I had 2 issues with that Raw, and only 2 issues. One of them was where the commercials were placed, because there were 2 times. I can't remember which 2 matches it was. There were 2 matches.
The main event, because you complained like a bitch about it.
One was the main event. I can't remember what the other one was, but it was as I was getting into the match that the commercial came in. And I was sort of like, the fuck, guys, the fuck. And
I wonder if your commercials are placed the same place ours are.
Yeah,
I have to admit. Ah, okay.
Because
they are.
Are they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because do you guys look at, like, what channel does it come in on the UK?
Well, if you do things the slightly less legal way, and you follow a stream, when you jump between streams, going between an American one and a UK one, the adverts are on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even that way with the Hulu version. So I mean, it's not like it's It's like watching a football game here and somewhere else. It's the same game happening at the same time. The commercials happen at the same time.
Yeah, because that's how Michael Cole always seems to know how to say, and we are back live at Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Yeah. But,
All right.
The other issue I had was shit, I've forgotten it already.
See, you didn't have an issue.
Moaning for the sake of moaning, Chris. Moaning for the
That was the commercials, but there was something else that was bothering me about it.
Was it Divas related?
No, it was the fact that considering they're deciding a number one contender, I felt it would have been better to have had that as a tournament held over a couple of weeks rather than to do it all in one night.
Nah, because then it drags out, and now you can tell the story.
Yeah. You do it over the course of a night, and you get what happened, like what happened last night, where the crowd was behind the right person, the guy that the company wanted it to be. You do that over the course of a couple of weeks. Who knows? Next week, the crowd could shit all over the guy.
Well, see, I don't know. I question if the next crowd will actually get behind him now.
Who knows? I mean, it all depends on where you're at, because you have asshole crowds everywhere. I mean,
here's the interesting part. I mean, you look at last year. Roman Reigns was out with injury this time last year, and I think that was the biggest problem. Was he wasn't consistently working. The fans weren't reminded that he was there. The fans didn't have a chance to get behind him going into the Rumble. So when he won the Rumble, no one was behind him because he didn't have a chance to get people behind him.
It was the wonderful combination of him being out while he was supposed to get that was supposed to be his feud with Seth. Was when that was supposed to happen, so that got nixed. And then when he came back, he was force-fed the worst promos that you ever heard, where he's Jack and the Beanstalk and shit.
And let's not forget how badly the Rumble was booked.
Right, and then they brought back Brian to really kneecap this guy.
And they also brought out The Rock to insult everyone's intelligent and make them think that, oh, look, this guy's here to make us all cheer for Roman Reigns. No.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last year. I mean, it's everything that happened on that show was trying to mitigate the response.
And it made it worse every time.
Yeah, you can't pull the wool over a smart crowd. They did it in Philly, and that's the absolute worst place to do it. I mean, Christ, they booed Santa Claus.
Yeah, Philly and Chicago, the two places you don't.
He booed. Only's the nicest guy in the world, and he booed. Yeah, bad move. Bad.
Yeah, I have to admit, Philly and Chicago are two places you don't try and screw the smart fans around.
Yep, and London. Don't do it in London, dear God.
No, you will get the shit booed out of you for London.
Speaking of London, if you're on the NXT shows in London, you're getting Motorhead live.
Yes, we are.
Or at least a song.
Yeah, because Lemmy will die after that.
Because Lemmy can't do more than one. So.
Expect Triple H to walk out, make an appearance, and you get his song live.
Yeah, you better hope that they oboe like Ace of Spades, and that's it. Because it's all that you're getting.
Indeed. Guys, what's popping heat for this week? We'll include Hell in the Cell, because obviously we're not to a full week.
Pop of the week will go to the Young Bucks re-signing with Ring of Honor.
We're going to talk about that as well.
Yes. What? We're going to talk about that?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so
we're going to make a whole segment out of it.
All right, so I'll hold that for them. But yeah, that's my pop of the week. My heat of the week is going to I'm seeing into the future. And what I'm seeing is that next week, Paige will be teaming back up with Charlotte and Becky Lynch, because Charlotte and Becky are the two dumbest faces of all time, and they're going to be back as friends yet again.
Because of logic.
Crystal, what was your pop and heat?
Well, I have to agree with Paul. My pop of the week was the Young Bucks signing with Ring of Honor. And my heat of the week was the pay-per-view match of Owens and Ryback.
That was my favorite. No, can't lie. Chris, what was your pop of the week?
My pop of the week would be mid-card champions winning their matches on Monday Night Raw.
Ooh, nice. Good choice. Mid-card champions winning matches on Raw. Makes sense.
Yeah, it was actually nice to see the two mid-card champions not job.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm not going to class Cena, because Cena is not a mid-carder, even if he has a mid-card title.
But Cena is a mid-card champion.
But Mid-card champions, generally speaking, lose their matches on Monday Night Raw, with Cena being the exception because it's Cena. With this being the case, it was nice to see guys like Owens. Even though Owens took the pin in the main event, he was made to look strong before he took that pin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice to see the mid-card guys getting that sort of...
Yeah, I mean, Owens was made to look really strong. It was that moment of, I almost had you. I almost had you with my finisher.
Yeah, he looked like a big deal, and he looked like an equal.
Yeah, they all looked equal in that match, which was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
well,
Ziggler included.
I loved the moment where Ziggler tried to get Roman from behind, and Roman just gave him that look like, "Oh, you motherfucker!"
Yeah.
You know, there was such good little stuff right there. I mean, Roman was just on point.
Oh yeah,
Sunday and Monday.
If I had to do another pop of the week, it would be how Taker threw Lesnar out the ring with his hits. How did it sound?
Oh yeah, the one hit and that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't even a hit. It was when Lesnar went for him, grabbed him, and Taker just swung around, and Lesnar went flying out of the ring.
Okay, my pop of the week. Oh, sorry, I'll let you finish. I thought you said
my heat of the week is the placement of the commercials.
Damn them commercials.
Man, when they start getting into two matches, it gets annoying.
My pop of the week goes to the Wyatt and Reigns match. I was actually really impressed with that. Like, Wyatt's been one of my favorites for a while, but he hasn't impressed me in a long time. Like, he's really done nothing because creative are idiots. But they kind of let him do his own thing. Like, two guys went into that ring, knocked shit out of each other, and made a big deal. Like, I believe both guys were stars. And then the promo he cut the following night as well just made everything, full circle. It tightened everything up, and he made the point of saying, look, we'll meet again. It's no big deal, but at some point in the future, we're going to hit heads again. That worked for me, and it was just such a nice touch to his character. Heat of the week.
I have another pop when you're done.
Cool, no problem. There are too many heats. Like, too many heats for something that's came out of such a good show. I think my real heat was the World Championship match. You can't be a world champion and have a subpar match like that, regardless of your opponent. It's like you said, if you're going to be there, you're going to work and make it look gold regardless.
You also can't...
Your opponent is balls to it. You sucked. It was an awful match.
You also can't have the World Heavyweight Championship match that early in the show.
No,
Come on,
it's gotta close the show. That is a main event match.
Unless you have something like Lesnar Taker, which has a story behind it, I can understand. But you don't have it before the fucking IC match. That's just disgusting.
No. It made complete sense to put it there on the card. Because the WWE still believes in the death spot, the old diva spot, where you would put that in between your two hot matches. And you wouldn't want to put that match on before Taker and Brock. So you had to have that buffer. I mean, because they still believe in the cooldown match. And even though that Kane Rollins was a cooldown match. But yeah, it was terrible. It really was from start to finish. Nothing about it was good. The build to it was terrible. I don't care what people say about, Kane was entertaining. Fuck you and entertaining. He stinks in the ring. He has no business being anywhere near a world title. And that's what the thing was. It was for the world title.
Maybe that's why Wyatts kidnapped him.
Yeah, I've got this nice little image in my head. Remember how the Wyatts took Kane the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this nice little image that Kane turns on Undertaker, but I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I would like it, but I don't see it happening. Guys, as we come into the last third, I'll let you finish. Go on.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay, my other pop of the week is the fact that Jack Jester became the new PBW heavyweight champion.
Yeah, representing Scotland.
That's right.
I'll tell you, Fear and Loathing, if anyone's not been keeping up with the ICW, get your finger out your ass, go and check out ICW wrestling. If you like old ECW, and I mean like ECW with a little bit of hardcore, go and check them out. They've just sold out the biggest British wrestling event since the early 90s. and it's going to be huge. You've got Grado, Drew Galloway, Jester, along with a bunch of others. Mick Foley is being your guest GM for the night. It's going to be big. I'm kind of gutted that I'm not back in time. It's 2 days before. It's actually on my birthday. I would have loved to have been there.
When is this?
November 15th, Glasgow. SECC.
Well, damn. Well done to them.
Yeah, I know. They've basically sold 5,000 seats. Like, they've sold the same as an NXT show now, basically.
They've outdone most NXT shows.
Mm-hmm.
I
believe San Jose was 4,800, so they've now outsold San Jose.
Yeah, and it's I know this is sacrilege, but ICW has a better product.
I would agree. They've got it's unusual because for a company that do a monthly show, and they don't tend to do weekly ones often with a story, they do a great job of updating their fans online with ongoings of stories. Like, they actually use social media to their advantage with their benefits. Today there was a video went out, and it was Davey Boy Blaze beat up around the back of their training center. Someone hit him with a chair and left him there, basically. Took his phone, just left him out back. I know, that's great storytelling, because fans are now going to tune in to see what happens and how that's going to progress towards Fear and Loathing in November. So it's a clever thing. On that note, though, as we get into the second, third guys of the show, we want to know what your pop and heat is for this week, because we like hearing from our listeners, and, you know, it's not often we get to hear your pop and heat. So what's made you happy and what's made you sad in the world of wrestling this week? It doesn't just need to be WWE. Maybe you went to a local event. Maybe something there really stood out for you. Make sure, though, that you just you put pop and heat next to each one, just so we know. Even use hashtag pop and heat if you want. We'll find it that way. We did say, guys, we'd talk a little bit about the Young Bucks and them not signing with WWE. Christy, you said this was kind of a big deal for you. Why do you feel this is such a big deal that the Bucks haven't signed with WWE?
Well, because back in the day, WWE or WWF, that was the marquee. That was the end goal. But now you have companies like Ring of Honor, and for all of you who hate it, sorry, but TNA to an extent. But you have Dragon Gate, and you have Evolve. You have, you have in the UK that you have ICW, which is making bigger roads. You've got tons of other promotions. Canada's got their promotions. A lot of regional promotions. And in the news you see NXT kind of partnering, or WWE partnering with Evolve. A lot of people are like, oh, they don't pay attention to that, they don't pay attention to that. That's, small potatoes. But if they're partnering, that means they're actually keeping an eye on what's going on out there. And for, the Young Bucks to say, yeah, WWE is the marquee, but, we're going to stay with Ring of Honor. It lets, I guess, it kind of sends a message, maybe not a big one, but it sends a message that WWE doesn't have to be the top of the food chain. You don't have to go to WWE to make a name for yourself in this industry. Because let's face it, when you go to WWE, you don't get to keep your own name anyway.
Yeah, I think
unless
it's
you're
nice.
John Cena.
Well, even then, he's messed around with it a few times.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of nice, though, to see a couple of guys that are actually standing up for themselves. As much as I'm not fond of their work, being those guys that don't go to WWE. Like, you were saying this about Sting.
That's because you're intolerant of other styles of wrestling.
No, I'm all good with Lucha. I'm fine with a lot of the guys in Ring of Honor. I just don't like the Bucks. Bucks in particular. I just don't get them. I didn't like them when they were in TNA. I didn't like them when they tried out for WWE. I don't like the Bucks, but I appreciate they're good at what they do. I understand it's a good thing they haven't gone to WWE, because they would have been messed around. They wouldn't be the Bucks then, as so many people like them that way.
Yeah, to me, guys like the Young Bucks and AJ Styles, those are the three most important guys on the independent scene. Those guys need to stay as far away as they can from Vince and his monopoly. Because they're all three of them are showing that that you can succeed and that you can make a decent living without Vince's money. And to be able to have that creative freedom and to write your own ticket and to be booked on shows that you want to. That's got to be a great feeling for those guys, and good on them. And I was really I was actually a little bit worried that they were going to be going to NXT, because that would have just been, it would have been a domino. We would have had a domino effect, and I think that we would have seen more guys go there that didn't need to. Because they're the pinnacle. If for most pro wrestlers, that's where they want to go. That's where the money's best. That's where the fame is, and that's where people see you. But you know what? That's fame and money doesn't mean everything to everybody. So.
And they don't necessarily going to see you on TV if you're with WWE. Let's face it.
Yeah, a lot of people spend a lot of time in developmental and never get on TV.
Oh, it's still a steady paycheck, though. that has to be
still impressed.
To a lot of guys, to guys that are busting their ass on the indies, and making nothing, just for them to sign and to be able to just get that steady paycheck. Good on them. The Bucks aren't those guys.
No. I am still impressed that Tyler Breeze has made it to the main roster. I'm not going to lie.
I think a lot of people are, and they don't like admitting it. Like, a lot of people have said Tyler Breeze will never make it to the main roster. I was one of them included.
I always thought he'd be like the king of NXT.
No, that would be bad. That might be
good
Balor.
There.
That might be Balor. Face of NXT.
I'd be okay with that. Just saying, he's too small for the main roster.
Yeah, he's gonna look like the world's biggest midget on the main roster.
He's gonna look like Paul.
True, but once
I'm wider than him.
True, but once he has
Finn Balor is roughly the size of my thigh.
Once he has the paint on, nobody will care, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but the paint really won't translate to the big roster because...
Oh, yeah, it will.
Will it?
Yeah, fans will paint all the time.
Yeah.
Like, the Sting guy, for instance.
But
this is the thing,
what does he have besides that?
Yeah, like he doesn't... Let's face it, the body paint was the realm of Sting and Goldust.
Uh-huh. And then you had guys later on doing it.
Yeah, but it's still identified with Sting and Goldust.
Well, now you've got Stardust. You had Jeff Hardy did it for a while. His fans still do that. Regardless of what company he's in.
I'm not going to lie, though. When you look at Balor, Balor has done it in a way that makes it his own. Sting, yeah, sure, Sting has his face makeup. Goldust has his face makeup. But you can tell whose is whose. And you can tell Balor's is Balor's.
Oh, yeah, it's totally original. He's the Balor man, and he's coming to get you. Burn! That's it. His entrance is fucking boogeyman. Give him a clock. Trust me, I like Finn Balor. I loved him as Prince Devitt. I was one of the biggest guys going, yes, sign this guy. This guy has all the tools. But he's gone there and he's regressed. Yet he's become nothing but an entrance at this point.
The problem,
that's it. He's an entrance.
Yeah, he needs a proper gimmick rather than just an entrance. He needs
explain the thing with the demon and the face paint and all that stuff. Just do that. Just have that. That's enough right there. Helps. I don't need him to have some long, complicated backstory of how the face paint and all that was brought down from his ancestors and how they've all done it before him.
No,
it's some long, Sheamus type story.
Paul, screw that. Just give him the Balor Club.
Oh, okay, fine. Put him with 3 other short indie jobbers. Cool.
Now,
Neville.
You say indie jobbers. This leads on to a question I had about kind of the Bucks and being signed. Do you feel WWE...
Hold on. But back to the Balor Club. Because the Bullet Club, all that is, that's a parody of the NWO. And there's no way that they're going to shit on themselves like that. So,
as I was saying, do you feel WWE is trying to snatch up as many good indie guys as they can so that they're not on the indies?
Yeah. No, I feel like they're trying to do it to improve their product.
Yeah, but to me it seems counterproductive. If you take all the good indie guys away from the indies, they're not having time to develop their talent.
Like, they don't care about that. They want them to learn one way. They want them to do things the WWE way.
They want the performance center. They want them in the performance center, not on the indies. Yeah. It's not that they don't want them on the indies.
Yeah, they want them in the performance center, but you look at a lot of these guys, and including Sami Zayn, the moveset that they had on the independents far exceeded what they're doing in the ring for WWE.
Well, let's discuss
because it's a different type of storytelling in WWE.
Even then, let's discuss Zayn for a second, because when Zayn got to WWE and NXT, he couldn't wrestle in their style.
No.
Initially, he couldn't wrestle in their style. He had to learn that, and I feel like that's what they're starting to set in motion with the indie guys now, to teach them that early so they can get in there. And in 4 or 5 years' time, look at the WWE roster, and it'll be full of indie guys. Even if it's only NXT, it'll be absolutely packed.
You know what? It's almost time to retire the indie guy label. I mean, because
they're wrestlers.
You know what? You have to learn your craft somewhere, and whereas WWE is the pros, everywhere else is the minor leagues. We understand that. But back to Craig's point, yeah, they want to bring in as much talent as they possibly can to not only make sure that Ring of Honor doesn't get it, or New Japan, or TNA, or whatever else that other thing is that no one will ever watch. And make they just want as much talent as possible to throw shit up against the wall, see what sticks. The more talent that you have, the more chances that you have to create stars.
Yep. And the more chance you have to create stars, the more money you are probably going to make.
Yeah.
And this brings me on to a lovely topic we discussed recently.
What?
Starting next week, we're going to have Paul's Top Indie 5. This is moments that have happened outside WWE, because Paul doesn't enjoy watching WWE all the time. So we're giving him the opportunity to tell you guys about other places and other stars you should be watching out for.
Can I talk about old stuff, too?
You can...
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Only for a little bit.
Yeah. Can I talk about movies?
No. Next time.
Can we briefly discuss something, by the way? Because I noticed that 2 Raws were added to the network very sneakily because they have Chris Benoit in them.
Certainly. Go ahead and discuss. What's to discuss?
The fact that they feel the need not to advertise it just because it's got Chris Benoit in it is still mind-blowing to me.
Why would they do that?
Because they should be pointing out the fact that they have more Raws on it. Who cares who's in them? They should be pointing out the fact that, oh, look, guys, we have more Raws on the network.
Yeah, but people don't care about old Raws. They care about old pay-per-views, and if they want that, they'll go looking for it. I mean, the fact Benoit's in it as well, you don't want to be like, hey, look, it's a Raw where this murderer was in.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to be seeing commercials on the network for Bowflex and Chill. This is a Chris Benoit featured episode.
I was actually wondering if they were going to have warnings.
I want a Bowflex and Chill shirt for Levels Wrestling.
Don't, because I'll consider it. We're not doing Bowflex and Chill.
Speaking of which, as everybody notices, Craig's wearing his lovely T-shirt.
Smash, smash, smash.
In
you
blue.
too can have an oversized T-shirt when you order the wrong size.
Oh,
no,
dear.
Seriously. It's not bad. It's a good fit, surprisingly. Like, I thought it was going to be much tighter than it was. And then I put it on, and now it's all kind of stretched out.
Yeah, keep it tight.
Now they're going to find us. Biggie, booty.
That just sounded really dirty.
Speaking of which, we had no Xavier Woods this week.
Yeah!
He got married!
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he got married over the weekend.
Congrats
to Xavier. How do you feel about New Day without Xavier?
They still fucking killed it. They were as funny as ever. And when they came out there, unicorn horns and all, even that aside, they came out there, they busted Roman Reigns' balls. And that was just amazing. To see Roman kind of have to keep his hand over his mouth, keep the hair over his face, to stop from laughing. That's when you know that you got something good. I would love to see those guys on house shows because I'm sure that they're just completely ridiculous.
In his greasy hair.
I also have to point out I was amazed that Big E didn't win his match with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, me too. That was the one that shook me a little bit.
Because you don't want to have 3 heels in a match against Roman.
Yeah.
No,
that's a good point, I suppose.
And Big E probably would have got cheered heavily.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, even still,
Dolph's over, but
even still, you could have had Tyler Breeze custom that match, and Big E is that popular that he would have been cheered anyways.
Nope. No, because you still don't want to have 3 heels in that match. I mean, you could have had Tyler Breeze attack him afterwards, but still, even that would have been a bad idea because the match was so close to the main event that Dolph would have got the sympathy pop. What they did absolutely worked. Everything worked. Yeah. Nothing to complain about. I mean, for me to watch a Raw, I mean, basically my first one, this is what, my second one since like since like the last pay-per-view. Yeah, it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have to admit my concentration in general has been sliding recently. With Raws, I've only been watching the first hour or so, and I've spoken to you guys about that before. I actually managed to...
Stupid o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. And I actually managed to watch all 3 hours of Raw.
That show is not worth me watching 3 hours live. I will say that much. No matter how good it was on Monday, I don't want to invest 3 hours.
It's just as good on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And that's why I I DVR it most times. And folks, the reason I didn't watch Raw on Monday is because I was at a Billy Connolly concert, which was much more exciting.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. That's a good reason.
Yep.
All about supporting the Scottish people this week. Jester, Billy Connolly, Craig.
To be honest,
absolutely.
If you were doing anything, you have an excuse not to watch Raw.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people forget that as well. I know people that actually go out their way to make sure they have nothing on Monday night so they can watch Raw.
That's disappointing.
Great, but that means you have too much free time.
No, it's called TiVoing, PVR, DVR, whatever you want to call it. You record it so you can watch it later, and fast forward through all the commercials and all the boring crap.
I mean, I understand watching it live because you want to have that interaction, especially if you're on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. You know, you want to have that instant reaction. You want to react to it along with other people. And
or
plus,
you don't want to.
And it's also just part of a lot of people's routine that no matter how good or bad the show is, they're just going to watch it out of sheer habit. That's fine. You know,
that's why I used to watch SmackDown, was out of habit.
Keep doing that. It's the people that watch SmackDown that is the problem. The folks that go out of their way to make sure that they ain't doing a fucking thing. What night is it on?
Thursdays.
Thursday. That they're watching SmackDown and then live tweeting about SmackDown. Oh, you are just... We like you.
Well, it was on Fridays in Canada.
Vince likes
you, and I used to watch it with my grandmother, my late grandmother, which is why I watched it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bothered.
When I lived in student halls, this is where things get bad. All I did, other than study, play video games, and write music, was watch wrestling. And that's how Levels of Wrestling started in the first place. And I used to watch Raw, I'd watch SmackDown, I watched TNA, I watched Lucha Underground. I would go out my way just to find old matches on YouTube. I would do anything to watch wrestling.
I still do that.
I still do some of that. I mean, shit, I was watching CMLL the other morning. So.
I watch Raw, that's about it.
CMLL.
Well, you liked it.
I did, it was good matches, and Mark Jindrak, dear God.
He likes to shake his dick at people.
He's like Mexican Val Venus.
He's worse than Val Venus and Rick Rude combined.
If Val Venus, Rick Rude, and Big E had an illegitimate child, Mark Jindrak.
They still would not wiggle their hips as much as Mark Jindrak does. That's a guy that understands what those Mexican people want, and they want to see him swivel his hips.
If you ask him to helicopter his dick, he's taking off. He's not just spinning.
Yeah.
Careful what you say about Rick Rude. He's one of my favorites.
No, he's a great guy. I like his talent as well.
Yeah, I liked him before.
Talent, I mean penis.
I liked him before WWF ruined him, and I liked him after WWF ruined him because he was awesome in WCW and AEW.
He was.
My first memory of seeing Rick Rude was just the face of I think it was Miss Elizabeth on his trunks.
No, that was actually
that would have been
Jake Roberts' wife.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember seeing that and just being like, okay, this is good.
That was an epic feud. I love that feud.
That's good stuff.
Rick Rude and Jake the Snake Roberts. God, that was a great feud.
It's not often someone else gets in Jake's head.
Yeah, Rude was awesome, and
Rude was great.
And for as good as he was in the WWF, he could have been so much better.
Yeah, he could have been.
So folks, if you think that it's a new thing of Vince ruining talent, it's not.
No.
Trust me, he's been doing it since the '80s.
Yep.
Kurt Hennig. That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Perfect, probably one of the best in-ring workers. Completely underrated.
No, he's overrated at this point.
Well, he's overrated now, but he wasn't then.
Yeah, him and Owen Hart. There you go. I said it live. Owen Hart, overrated.
Too soon.
True story.
Too soon.
How was it too soon? You said it yesterday.
No, I made a falling out of the sky joke, probably.
Too soon, Paul. Too soon. Yeah.
He could have been so much better than he was.
Bowflex and chill.
You're not having a Bowflex and chill T-shirt.
No.
Repel.
Maybe.
Repel from the ceiling and chill. No?
Doing my best not to laugh at that one.
It just encourages me.
See, this is why I don't have. This is why I only have my photo up. I don't actually show myself live because I'd be laughing my butt off all the time.
Yeah, Lammy needs to.
I
know Lammy's
really.
He's at home. Well, he's probably having a quick wank, knowing Lammy, but.
No, it's just 11:15 at night in the dark. Not exactly the best
You
thing to have.
now that's I have an image stuck in my head of Chris, choking his chicken.
He's just Bowflexing and chilling.
Great, that's going to be euphemism for that. That's wonderful.
I am going to catch a plane to the US, find where Paul lives, and then come and kill you.
You might have a while to get from the airport. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, dear.
And it's wet. You don't want to come here. It's actually wetter than the UK today.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
Yeah, for the next couple of days. Yeah.
That is actually not possible. I don't think you've ever been to the UK, have you, Paul?
Fuck no. Why would I leave America? I got everything I want here.
Because it's America.
Hey, America's nice.
If it's any consolation, Vancouver rains more than the UK too.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Canada
It's a lot colder, though.
Canada doesn't surprise me. The US does.
It's on because there was like a hurricane. Why the fuck are we talking about weather?
I don't know, because somehow we talked about Chris wanking and Bowflex and chilling, and then coming across your kills.
Weather.
I mean, at least Bowflexing and killing, that's...
Bowflex and killing or Bowflex and chilling?
It'll be 2 shirts.
That'll be the back. It'll be like a reverse.
No, because we're too cheap to put something on the back.
This is true.
Kate, if you're listening, we need 2 T-shirts.
Don't, because he'll print that up ready to go by the minute we finish the show. And he'll have it with the Bowflex, under the word Bowflex.
I'll talk to him.
Most overrated wrestler of the last 5 years. Go.
Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler.
Chris?
Dolph Ziggler.
Ooh.
Alberto Del Rio.
Followed by AJ Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Well done for calling her a wrestler, too.
She used to be.
See that? Divas Revolution. Wrestler, not diva.
Sure.
Krista?
On the male side, I'd have to say Dolph Ziggler. Followed by... Who the hell is it that I was thinking of? Anyway.
Brian?
Yes, Daniel Bryan is also overrated. There, I said it. On the Divas division, AJ Lee, completely overrated.
And Naomi.
And Naomi is overrated, and Charlotte's a bit overrated.
Okay, Charlotte, yeah, but let's not. That's a whole trapdoor of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the last 5 years, CM Punk, 5 years prior to that, I wouldn't have believed you. I'd have probably said he was one of the best in the world. This 5 years, nah, he was overrated. Diva's probably AJ Lee. Probably.
I
Sorry,
would say the
Yeah,
last
Punk.
2 years, Punk was overrated. When he first started out, he was like, wow.
That was like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 10 years ago, he was like, holy cow. The last 2-3 years, he was completely overrated.
I was almost tempted to say Bobby Roode. Because he's good, but he's like, not quite that good.
If somebody wrestles in front of 18 people,
Does anyone care?
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter really how good you are if you're wrestling in front of 18 people.
To be honest, if you were that good, there'd be more than 18 people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, if he is that good, then he'll get it.
And I'm gonna say this as well. The Dudley Boys are overrated. And
Oh,
Jeff Hardy is
yeah.
overrated.
Nobody ever thought any of those people were good, though.
Bully Ray. I'll say Bully Ray was good. Good gimmick, anyway.
He was
He
good,
had a good gimmick.
but I mean, now he's
No, he's Bubba Dudley again.
now you see that they're just nothing. My God.
Ooh, Chris Jericho. There's another one.
Yeah, he's overrated.
I would put Chris Jericho as one of my most overrated wrestlers of all time.
I was gonna say, if you say one of my top 5, this hand's getting swung.
No, and I love Jericho. I still have like the original Y2J shirt. But I mean, going back through and watching the old Nitros, he wasn't that good. I mean, he was very, very, very overrated. I mean, he has some of the worst timing I ever saw.
And I have to say, as much as I love him, I think Christian and Edge are a little bit overrated too, or were towards the end of their careers.
Edge extremely. Christian, I'll argue. I like Christian a lot.
I'll put Edge in that same Chris Jericho category where people think that he's really great, and no.
I'll also say Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins?
Yes,
Oh,
Seth Rollins is completely overrated.
Now
find the underrated ones. That's kind of the ones that I struggle. If you're not going to say Roman Reigns, then...
We mentioned one earlier, Heath Slater.
Yeah, Heath Slater's underrated. I think Darren Young is underrated.
Yes, definitely.
I think...
won't do anything for me.
Good mid-card spots.
But he's mid-card, but
O'Neil.
he's still underrated. He's still underrated. Titus O'Neil's a hot tag, and that's all he is. But Darren Young is underrated, I think.
Hey, being a hot tag, that's a difficult thing.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and he does it well.
Yeah. I think Luke Harper is underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Not by the IWC, though.
Yeah,
No,
we all know who. We all know.
I actually think Rowan is a little bit underrated.
He is.
Rowan is not as bad as everyone makes him out to be.
Oh,
No.
when he's with Harper, he's real good.
I like the
He is.
little things at the weekend at Hell in a Cell where they're like pushing each other off.
That was so good, and I got to think that
Yeah.
that was Luke Harper just kind of going, "Hey guys, watch this," And then they all started doing it, just shoving each other out of the way, and throwing some boots.
Yeah. No, I definitely think Rowan and Harper are definitely underrated.
Underrated. I'm gonna go with Naomi.
Underrated.
Yeah. Give her a chance. I mean, it is hard. It is hard, goddamn work having butt-based offense.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's also part of the problem with the goddamn thing. But she has the athleticism. That's it.
She has been with the company for 6 fucking years, and that in itself means that she should have the Divas title, the Women's title, the NXT title, the WWE Unified title.
You know who else?
She's been there 6 years. Where is her merchandise?
Hold on. Okay, I
You
can
know
agree
who
with
else
that.
is overrated? You know who else is overrated? The Bella Twins.
You want to know what's no? You know what? Nikki Bella's underrated.
You know who's
You want to know
underrated?
what else is underrated? That rant.
You know who else is underrated? Big E.
Yeah,
Yes.
Big E completely.
Everybody knows Biggie rules.
He does now. 6 months ago, everyone was like, ugh.
But he's no Naomi.
Kane's overrated.
Kofi's
Nobody ever thought Kane was a good wrestler.
Big Show's overrated.
Kofi is underrated.
Kofi's underrated. Ryback's
see-
overrated.
No. You see,
No, Kofi is overrated. People think that he's a great worker, and he's never been.
I'm going to argue the Kofi case in that he was one of my favorite guys for a long time, And recently, he's got a character. Well done, Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
And he's.
You know who else is
really quite
overrated?
funny.
The Miz.
Hey, hey, back in your box.
This is the best heel working.
Sheamus.
Sheamus is overrated.
No!
Sheamus is overrated in the sense that he's a big guy and that's about it.
She's from Canada. It's bizarre world.
Naomi!
Whatever.
Butt-based offense. You want to know what my hate of the week is? No team bad on Raw, on a pre-show, on a pay-per-view, on NXT, on Impact, on New Japan, on Ring of Honor. What in the actual fuck?
Yeah, when you're getting Let's Go Sasha chance in women's matches that Sasha's not in, you'd think that'd be a good sign to push her.
She is not the star. She is at the point here. Give Naomi a chance. You need more butt-based offense. She's been there 6 years.
See, that should be a t-shirt. Butt-based offense.
6 years.
In that case, Lisa.
That argument could be made for a lot of people on the roster. They've been there a long time and they haven't had a championship.
Where's our first title run, damn it?
No.
Yeah, what about R-Truth?
Years.
He's
There's
another
a
one
guy
that's
who's
underrated. He
Yeah,
is
there's a guy
completely
who's extremely
underrated.
Where's Summer Rae's? Where's Rosa Mendez's?
6 years. That's all I'm saying. Give her a chance.
Rosa Mendez, bro. Rose.
What about Tamina?
She,
You didn't realize
no, she doesn't have enough butt-based offense.
Rosa Mendez has been there since
And
2006.
her run in Deuce and Domino does not count towards her run as being Tamina Snuka.
Rosa Mendez has been there for 9 years.
Did you say Tamina Snatch? Because
No.
really, Paul.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
You didn't say that at all.
No, I don't talk about that kind of filth. Hey, look at that. We lost a viewer because of me. We lost a Naomi fan because of me. I'm sticking up for her!
I'll be the one to say it. Overrated wrestlers. Finn Balor.
He is overrated.
What?
We got to end the show there.
Yeah, I think that's... Wow, on that great note that Chris has finally made a realization and that he's finally let that sink in, we shall call this a night. This has been Wednesday Night Lowdown. We've been the Levels of Wrestling. I'm Craig. That's Paul. That's Chris, who's silent. That's Krista, who's also silent. If you can guess which one, by the pictures, you're doing great, guys. Next week, you can tune in. You'll hear the new segment with Paul. You'll also hear the usual segments from us, all of us, because we're all going to be here next week, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, I want to do another segment, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If it's a Naomi-based one, I'm going to slap you. Yes,
So will I.
Don't forget, guys, you can head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. You can hear all our past shows. You can hear all the shows from Ringside Ramblers, Mind of Carnage, Just Saying, and the Wrestle Addicts. You can also hear those on iTunes. Any others you want to throw in?
It's on Stitcher as well.
It's on Stitcher, too.
Yeah, and also look for a new show coming out. Craig, I'm springing this on you.
Go ahead.
Where it's going to be, I'm going to be releasing it every Tuesday morning, and it's going to be called Give Naomi a Chance, and it's just going to be, and I'm going to fantasy book how she should have been used throughout the course of every wrestling show.
To be honest, I can sum that up in 5 words. Let her be released. Wait, that's 4 words. Even better.
Tuesday morning.
Future endeavored.
Krista's math is as good as Naomi's push.
Mate, it's better.
Give her a chance. Give Naomi a chance. Coming Tuesday mornings to the Levels of Wrestling.
I'm going to go with Bowflex and chill. We've been the Levels of Wrestling. This has been Lowdown. And don't forget, you can get your Levels of Wrestling merchandise over at tpublic.com/user/Levels of Wrestling. This has been Lowdown. Good night.